So we are back with the Debauchee Massacro, which is the sports car in the new High Life update, which hit the 13th of this month. And as you can see, just at first glance, you can see the back and the front both have a resemblance to the Carbonizzare, which is already in the game and was the Ferrari looking car. Now the front here, as you can see on the right, there is a picture of the front of the Carbonizzare compared to the front of the Massacro, and you can see some subtle, similarities. And also at the back here, you can see another similarities between the two cars. Now we're going to go check out the car customization of this, and we'll just see what what spoilers are available, what arches, what skirts, what roll cages are available, and I'll see you down there at the mod shop. So obviously you've got the basic armor and brake upgrades available for the car, so we're just going to move straight onto the bumpers. And as you can see, we do have a carbon splitter and a splitter for your car there, as well as the carbon race splitter for the front. And at the back you can see the bottom spoiler kind of looks like the one on the Carbonizzare picture we saw earlier. So there are some cool options to make it look a little bit more like the Carbonizzare. It doesn't actually look that much like it, but it does have some similarities. You can see it has been slightly designed off the Carbonizzare with the front and the back. Now moving on to the chassis, as you can see, these two roll cages. First I'm just going to remove my limo windows so you can actually see it. So you've got the standard roll cage here, which is pretty much self-explanatory, and then you move on to the race roll cage here, which actually looks pretty cool. And it's got these sort of, I guess you would call them, like, I don't know what you call them actually, pipes, like sticking out those small back windows there. So if you wanted to make it more like a sort of race car, then that would be pretty cool for you, and pretty cool customization option for you to customize this car, obviously. Now moving on to the exhaust, there is only one exhaust here, but as you can see here, it does look like a pretty cool exhaust. It's got this sort of kind of colored tint to it, like the purple and the blue there. So that is pretty cool, and yeah, kind of disappointing on the exhaust, not as many as the Zentorno, but that's to be expected, it's not a supercar. Now here we do have some race wing vents, which do look pretty cool. Again, if you're going for that race car look, then this is the option for you. Now we've got 3 hoods available. We have got the carbon hood, we've got the race vented hood, and we've got the race carbon vented hood. So there is a lot of race options on this car. So basically it is kind of a race car, to say the least. And yeah, moving on to the skirts. Now here we have got 4 skirts available, which are 2, but they've basically got different colors. So we've got the side skirt, the carbon side skirt, the race side skirt, and the race carbon side skirt. And the difference between the side skirt and the race one is the race ones don't have the sort of thing that grips onto the back left wheel there, as you can see, or as you saw. And yeah, moving on to the spoilers. Now we have got this low level spoiler here, which is the color of your car. We've got the same spoiler, but instead of being the color of your car, it is carbon. And we've got this sort of race wing here, which actually says the name of the car or the make of the car, Debauchee, or however you say that, which could be pretty cool. It's like a sponsor kind of thing, but not like on the car, it's just like on the wing. So this is still pretty cool that it actually says the make of the car, and also there on the GT wing you saw it had the same. Now moving on to the transmission, all the stuff is the same. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the options on this car, and we're just going to go and test it in the streets and come to a conclusion of is it worth it, is it worth the money you're paying for it, should you buy it, and all that different stuff. So as you can see here, it does look pretty beautiful outside. You can see this nice sort of red I've got on it. That's just a normal red, so I just think like a red or a black or a white would look really good in this car. And right now we're just going to go to the airport to test the speed of this and how long it takes to get from one end of the runway to the other, which you can try with your other cars and see if you want a sort of fast car or just a car to show off to your friends in. So I'll see you when we are there. So I'm going to do 2 tests here. The first one here is without any transmission, turbo, engine, and all those upgrades. And this is just that when you get it straight out of your garage, and if you do this test, this is what time you'll get. And so as you can see, it has got some Alright, acceleration, it's not as fast as Instantorno as expected, as it's not a supercar, it is a sport car. And we are nearing the end here, and it's going to be roughly around 30 seconds, I think. Well, we'll call it stops around there. So 29:20 is roughly around the time that it takes to get from one end to the other, which is alright for it. And now we're going to try it with the modifications. So max transmission, max turbo and max engine, and I'll be back down there and we can start the second test. So this time I have all the upgrades: the engine transmission, or the engine upgrade 4, the transmission upgrade 4, and the turbo tuning. And as you can see, we accelerate much faster. We've already passed the yellow plane, which in the other one we passed about now, 15 seconds in, and there we passed at 11 seconds. But once it reaches its top speed, it doesn't actually become that fast. And as you can see, it is 6 seconds faster. But obviously it doesn't, you know, improve it by like 20 seconds because it has a very, well, not the fastest top speed. So it can get to its top speed pretty fast, but unfortunately once it gets there, it's not that fast. So I hope that gave you a little insight onto what this car is and what it can do in a sweet flip there by me jumping that thing. But yeah, hope that gave you a little insight into what this car is, what all the upgrades are, what the modifications are, how fast it is, what the acceleration is, what the top speed is, and basically whether you decided or not to buy it. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next episode where I'll be doing the SUV truck that, and the very last thing, or sorry, the last car that came with it, and then I'll do the motorcycle, the Dinka Thrust, and then I'll be done with all the cars until the heists come out. So I hope you enjoyed as always, and I will see you all in the next episode.
You can lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path along the lines with your shattered frame of mind. Or instead you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find a